Ladies and gentlemen, maybe Honkai Star Rail hasn't released the Yanqing abundance yet, but by the power of coping and believing in the abundance Yanqing theory, we have made the abundance Yanqing fan-made kit. If you don't know much about the abundance Yanqing theory, we are currently working on an updated theory video for it, because the first one has only 20% of all the things there are to tell about this amazing, and a bit terrifying because of how much suffering it would put this teenager in, theory. So, stay tuned! Anyway, back to the main topic of this video, but before we begin, we would like to clarify that this is not any leaks, and we don't want this to spread as leaks. It's just our own ideas. To be exact, this kit is the work of Neuvi's lover and Ratai, and the art was made by Korr, Devlin, and Ratai. And Kay, me, is the one responsible for speaking. So, hello everyone! Additionally, we are not game designers, so this kit may be a little too broken or maybe not good enough. Therefore, if you have any ideas on how to balance or improve it, the comment section is yours to take advantage of. But please, be civil. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Oh, you mean the young boy? The one who's always by the general? I don't know anything about him.
Yanqing is a 5-star ice character who follows the path of the abundance. His basic attack, Risen Again, deals 100% of Yanqing's max HP as ice damage to a single enemy. Additionally, increases Yanqing's chance to get hit by 40% until the abundant life state is active. His enhanced basic attack, To Be Your Savior, has him summon his swords to rain down upon the enemies, dealing 100% of Yanqing's max HP as ice damage to a single target, and 70% to the adjacent targets. This will apply the Abundant Thorns debuff. The enemies caught in the Abundant Thorns debuff will have their speed decreased by 20% and will be frozen for 3 turns. Skill, the Seeds of Life, will have the debuff Abundant Thorns drain 50% of Yanqing's max HP to heal the entire team, except Yanqing, for 25% of Yanqing's max HP plus 500. Upon using the skill, both the Yanqing along with the first character in the lineup will receive a 30% crit rate and 30% crit damage increase for 3 turns. His enhanced skill, I Pour for My Blood, will have the Abundant Thorns debuff drain 25% of Yanqing's max HP to heal the entire team except for himself for 35% of Yanqing's max HP plus 900. Upon using his skill, both Yanqing, along with the first character in the lineup, will receive a 30% crit rate increase, a 30% damage increase, and a 3% crit damage increase for each 2% crit rate Yanqing has for 3 turns. This enhanced skill will also remove 1 to 2 debuffs from the first and the second characters in the lineup. His ultimate, Lieutenant's Blade of Sorrow, has an energy cost of 130. Yanqing will create a giant ice sword to impale his opponent, healing Yanqing's HP to 100%. This also deals ice damage equal to 240% of Yanqing's max HP to all enemies on the field. This will remove any debuffs Yanqing has. His talent, That I Conquer Death. When Yanqing dies, he will enter the Abundant Life state that lasts for 3 turns. In this state, Yanqing's basic attack and skills are enhanced, and Yanqing receives a 30% less damage. If Yanqing dies during this state, he is dead for good. However, once the Abundant Life state is over, and Yanqing dies again, he will re-enter the state. Yanqing dying to enter the Abundant Life state will not count as a death in the system. Count as death in the MOC, for example. Additionally, in this state, when an ally crits, Yanqing recovers 11 to 20% HP randomly. Technique: To give you the blessing of life. At the beginning of the battle, all allies' turns are advanced by 100%. Yanqing will automatically enter the Abundant Life state and will have a 20% crit rate increase and 20% speed increase for 2 turns. Bonus Trace 1, In Another World. When an enemy is defeated, advance all allies' turns by 50%. Bonus Trace 2, Sword Companion. When in the Abundant Life state, increases Yanqing's speed by 40%. When entering the Abundant Life state, clears debuffs from all allies, including himself. Bonus Trace 3, Unbearable Pain. Yanqing's effect res in the Abundant State life increases by 60%. small traces, speed, crit damage, and HP. Lightcone, irreversible. This increases the wearer's crit rate by 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60%. This also increases the wearer's max HP by 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40%. When the wearer uses a skill on one or more allies, these allies gain a meddled sword effect. When the wearer loses or gains health, this regenerates 8, 9, or 10 energy for all allies with a meddled sword effect. 4-star Lightcone, one last training session. This increases the wearer's crit rate by 12, 15, 18, 21, and 25%. This also increases the wearer's max HP by 2, 5, 8, 12, or 50% after the wearer uses their skill. This lasts 3 turns. Eidolons. Eidolon 1. While the abundant life state is active, all allies receive res pen increase by 18%. Additionally, when Yanqing attacks in the abundant life state, it heals him for 5% of his max HP. Eidolon 2. When Yanqing's buff is active, the characters affected by it will gain an additional buff that matches their path. Distraction, 40% quick damage increase. Additionally, all their attacks will regenerate an additional 10% of their max HP. The Hunt. All attacks are blasted to adjacent enemies, dealing 55% of the original damage. Erudition. Deals 45% more damage to the target with the most HP among all hit by the attack. Harmony. Restores 10% of their energy every time they take action. Nihility. Each debuff they apply additionally puts a DOT of their element on the enemy. The DOT will deal 80% of the character's attack. Preservation. Shield effect 50%. Abundance. Max HP plus 40. Remembrance. 30% attack. Additionally, all the Memo Sprites' attacks regenerate their HP by 10%. Eidolon 3. Ultimate level plus 2, up to a maximum of level 15. Basic attack level plus 1, up to a maximum of level 10. Eidolon 4. Each time an ally uses an ultimate, Yanqing gains 4 energy. This can occur a maximum of 4 times during a turn. Additionally, when Yanqing uses his ultimate, all allies gain 3 energy. Eidolon 5. Skill level plus 2, up to a maximum of level 15. Talent level plus 2, up to a maximum level of 15. Eidolon 6. Yanqing's normal skill would take 100% of his max HP and recover all allies 100% max HP. When entering his special state, Abundant Life, using a skill, he would trigger an effect called Swallow Sacrifice. While in this state, Yanqing's damage is increased by additional 300% of his max HP. Additionally, each time an ally uses their skill, basic attack, or ultimate, Yanqing's max HP is increased by an additional 5%. Animations. Basic attack. Yanqing causes several ice swords to hit an opponent. Enhanced basic attack. Yanqing jumps slightly and summons around 20 swords to attack the enemies. Skill. Plants with thorns injure Yanqing and spread among the battlefield to heal all allies. Yanqing makes a pose that shows he's in pain. Enhanced skill. Plants with thorns hurt Yanqing, then spread around the battlefield to heal all allies. Yanqing's pose will show more pain and a tear will come from his right eye. Ultimate. Abundance Yanqing spins around with the Hunt Yanqing in confusion. Then the scene changes to a huge sword that launches at the enemies and releases an ice effect that heals Yanqing. Talent. Yanqing dies, swords around him. Then he opens his eyes again and they are glowing. Technique. Yanqing stands from the Yuan swirl and an icy effect is around him. Additional information. In the overworld, Yanqing is always flying on the Yanslo, making traveling faster. At E6, while in the Abundant Life state, it makes the sky red and puts more special effects in the animations. Both Yanqing and the first character in the team get an icy ring effect around them when the buff from his skill is active. In conclusion, our abundance version of Yanqing would be a great healer, who would do some good damage himself in addition to providing some buffing to the main DPS. And vice versa to the Hunt Yanqing, the abundance Yanqing would have anti-synergy with heals, as they would make it harder for him to enter his That I Conquered Death talent. He would also require a bit of strategy, as his ultimate would only be beneficial in his talent state. And if somehow, we doubt it, anyone from Hoyoverse is actually watching this, you can take inspiration, but please just for the abundance Yanqing, please. The whole community is begging for him. Please, we are very desperate. And, well, that's all for this fan-made kit. Thank you all so much for sacrificing some of your time to watch this, and if you stayed till the very end, comment red at the end of your comments. This is Yanqing the Abundance. Have an abundant of great days going forward.